In this screencast, I'm going to walk you through our syllabus for this semester. Here at the top, you'll see all of my information. Here's my email and office hours, and my office is above the library in the multi-purpose building. My hours are from 11:30 to 1 and 2 to 4 on Tuesday, Thursday. And if you do need to meet with me, if you have any questions or need me to help you with anything, I'm more than happy to do that. Just let me know ahead of time so I can make sure I am in fact in my office and not in a meeting somewhere or doing something else. So just check with me ahead of time, but that is when I plan to be in the office to help you if you need it. I'm not going to read everything that we have here, but I'll just highlight the main points. This is an introductory course, and we do cover general technology, Word, Excel, Access, and PowerPoint, and a little bit of website stuff there at the end. So here we have, it is a fully online class, and it is a 16-week course. We begin September 23rd and end just before Christmas on December 19th. All of our weekly content, so all of the content in Blackboard and in all the assignments that are in My IT Lab will open up on Saturday mornings, and those will usually be due the next following Sunday by midnight. So that should give you plenty of time to get all of your homework done. This reiterates once again that we will be working in Office 2013. So you do need to make sure you have 2013, and you do need to make sure it includes Access. That means it's the professional edition. The student edition you can buy in the bookstore does include Access, and so does Office 365 if you choose to buy that subscription piece from Microsoft. But with your textbook, you also get a free 180-day trial, which includes all of the applications we'll be working with. Now you can use Office 2007 and 2010, but you will not get all of the points on the homework because they sometimes don't include some of the pieces. So just be aware of that. This also does meet the computer literacy requirement for CWY. That's a requirement for graduation. This class also gives you 3 transfer credits over to BSU and some of the other universities in the state of Idaho. So just so you're aware of that. This next section goes into a little bit more detail about the computer literacy requirement for CWY. You can either take CISA 101 for it, you can take the exams at the testing center, which are pretty difficult, or you can take this class. So because of that, you do have to have a 70% or better on each of the exams, and we'll talk about that more in a minute. You can read through the objectives and the outcomes. I have a list of all the different skills we'll be working with. It isn't a complete list, but it's a variety of what we will be working on. There's Internet and Email and Word. Here we have Excel, PowerPoint, Access, and then the website creation we'll do the last 2 weeks of class. Our textbook is the Go Office 2013 book, and you can locate all the information you need on the bookstore's website. And you do need to have, obviously, access to a computer. And if you do need a computer, you can go to any of the 4 locations of the campus where we have computer labs. And most of those computer labs are open until 10 on weekdays, and they are open on Saturdays as well, but I don't think they're open on Sundays, so please be aware of that, as homework is due Sunday night and we all really like to procrastinate. Please try and get things done ahead of time. If you have any technological issues, you can always go down to a computer lab and get all of your homework done. And I already talked about making sure you have Access, and you can get that 180-day free trial. You can also get that through Pearson's website for $12 as well if you don't buy the book from the bookstore. So we have 5 exams in this class. We have General Technology, Internet, and Email. We'll actually take that in week 2. And then we have Word, Excel, Access, and PowerPoint. All of these must be passed with a 70% or better. In most cases, you have more than one attempt on this exam, so please don't stress out about it. You get a chance to take it and make changes and re-upload it and all of that. But you do have to have 70% or better on every single one of the exams, or you cannot pass this class. And I have had to fail students before because they didn't pass an exam. So make sure you are very aware of that. My grading scale is the standard grading scale. 90 to 100 is an A, 80 to 90 is a B, and so on. The weighted breakdown of our homework is we have the exams for 50%, homework quizzes participation for 30%, and projects for 20%. Okay. So the main objective of this class is for students to demonstrate the computer literacy, so we do that through the exams and the homework. We will be using Blackboard and My IT Lab, and it can be a little bit confusing, and I've tried to make it as clear as possible where all of our assignments will go. On the schedule, you will see where things need to be uploaded or completed in, and in the weekly folders, I also reiterate where everything is going. I will send out announcements every week and make sure you fully understand what's expected of you for that week. If you have any questions, please let me know. You can locate your grades inside My IT Lab, not in Blackboard. Please do not check Blackboard for your grades. They will not be there. You want to check My IT Lab for your grades. Everything will be there and it will be updated all of the time. Your grades will always be current. Communication is really important in a class like this. Of course, we'll be doing a lot of writing, either in discussion boards or emails and working with your group. So just please be aware of the communication that you're giving. In terms of feedback, I will be grading. Usually all of your assignments are due on Sunday night, and I typically grade on Mondays. So I have a really quick turnaround for you guys. I've been a student, and I always appreciate it when instructors got me my homework back right away. A lot of your homework will be graded automatically by the computer, but there are some that I grade myself, so I will try and have those back to you right away. The only exception to that rule is the research paper. Those do take me a little bit longer to grade. You guys put a lot of time and effort into writing those, and I like to make sure I put the time and effort into grading those completely for you. So, discussion boards we'll be using a lot. It has the Ask the Instructor forum, which is really important. If you have a question and you feel like maybe other students might have the same question, that's a great place to ask. I try and check that every single day and get back to you as soon as I can. So please feel free to use that. And there are other discussion boards on there which I talk about in the Blackboard screencast. Email really is the best way to get a hold of me. I have it on my computer at work. I have it on my phone. I will typically respond back to you within a couple of hours. That may not always be the case. I have 48 hours on here just in case maybe it's during the weekend and I'm out of town or whatever. But for the most part, on a regular given day, I will get back to you definitely by the end of the day. We don't have any absences in an online class, but you do need to be participating, especially in the first couple weeks of class, because I do have to log attendance and that you've been working. Late assignments are not accepted. You have plenty of days to get your homework done. Please make sure that you get started early so that you don't have any problems. You never know when the unexpected things come up. You don't want to get sick on the weekend, not be able to get things done, or have a computer crash. Make sure you try and get those things done early, and it will also be less stress on you as well. Social networking, just a quick note on this. I do not add my students to my social networking sites. It's kind of a weird relationship when we talk about that in terms of teacher versus student, and so don't take it personally if you send me a request. I don't put students onto my social networking sites. Netiquette, this section basically just says that it's a really good idea to just double check your text, make sure it sounds correctly. It's really easy to misinterpret when we're just reading the words as opposed to actually having a conversation and getting those physical cues from people. So just make sure if you are using any kind of sarcasm or anything like that, make sure you're using the emotion icons and just be aware of how you're writing and how it sounds. This class is not a self-study or online correspondence course. You need to be checking in daily. We have weekly homework. There's participation in blogs and your group projects and all of that. So make sure you're checking in and making sure you're getting everything done that you're supposed to. And this sentence, online instruction requires a philosophical shift for the participant and the instructor. That's really true. It really does require more of you to be active in your learning process. And this online class is not necessarily easier than my in-person one. It really does take a lot on you to make sure you're getting everything done, that you're following all of the instructions. I say it all the time with this class. This class is all about following directions. Please make sure you read through the assignments carefully. Make sure you know where things are supposed to get posted. Nothing drives me more crazy than when it's clearly labeled on the instruction sheet and all the students start doing it differently in strange places. So please make sure you read those instructions carefully. Make sure you know where it goes. It'll be in the instructions. I'll usually send out an announcement. I try and make it very clear where everything should be. Now this course is a 3-credit course, and you're supposed to set aside 3 to 4 hours per week for each credit hour. That's 9 to 12 hours each week. So when you're putting your schedule together for the week, please keep that in mind. It averages to about an hour and a half every day for this class. I've already talked about late assignments not being accepted, so just make sure you know that. Record keeping. You don't really have to maintain well, everything is digital these days, so you kind of just have copies. Also, anything you turn into My IT Lab is there, and you can always go back and retrieve it. So we don't typically have a problem with assignments getting lost necessarily. But do go in and check the grade book. Make sure all of your grades are correct and look right, and that everything that you've done is in there. If a grade goes uncontested for a period of 2 weeks, it will be considered correct and permanent. So don't think the last week of class you can go back and be like, hey, I realized there was a mistake in week 3. Make sure you get it done right away. Check that grade book. Make sure everything on this is checked off on your list. Behavioral expectations. I do expect everyone to be respectful. I don't normally have a problem with this, but just make sure that you are treating everyone well, and inappropriate behavior is not accepted or acceptable. Academic dishonesty. Make sure that you are doing all of your own work. This is really important. Nothing makes me more angry than catching a student cheating. And I have caught people plagiarizing papers before. So please do your own work. And when we talk about this in My IT Lab as well, in Pearson, inside this product, they keep track of every assignment that gets turned in, and they get checked back and forth when you turn one in. So if you find a file on the internet and you try and turn it in as your own, it flags me and tells me that. So, and if 2 of you work on an assignment together and turn in the same file, it will tell me that. So please make sure you are doing your own work, because I do not like it when I find out that students are cheating. And you will receive a 0 on the assignment if that happens. We don't really have emergency procedures for this class. If you do have a fire at your home, please get out, things like that. And then the electronic evaluations will come up at the end of the semester in those last 3 weeks of class. Once again, if you have any questions at all, please feel free to email me or use the discussion board.